Let's get more now on that trend. DW's political correspondent Charlotte Potts joins us now from Berlin. So, Charlotte, as we saw there, looking pretty grim for the Social Democrats in the run-up to the general election. But can the party's candidate for Chancellor Martin Schulz possibly pull this back?
It's going to be really, really tough for him, Sarah. We've heard it before. The Social Democrats are polling at 20% right now. If indeed that was the result on September 24th, that would be the worst election result ever since the Second World War for the Social Democrats. 2009 looked equally grim. They came out with 23%. Then candidate Frank-Walter Steinmeier also had not a good result. But, I mean, this time around, this below 23%, below that threshold, that would be really catastrophic. In any case, we've just heard it in the report, Martin Schulz and the Social Democrats are insisting that indeed he will be the next chancellor, that Martin Schulz will become chancellor. But realistically, if you look at the numbers right now, it's not about beating Angela Merkel anymore for the Social Democrats. It is about closing the gap between their party and Merkel's Christian Democrats, so that they might have a better chance in the coalition talks following after the election.
But Charlotte, why have the Social Democrats lost so much ground? Because, I mean, there was a lot of excitement, when he was elected unanimously by his party to take the helm. And they've lost so much ground since then. What happened?
Yeah, exactly. It was in the beginning of the year that Martin Schulz started out very strongly, and I think there's a mixture of things that really led to the demise of the party, so to say, in the polls in the past month. And one thing is clearly that they can't distinguish themselves from the Christian Democrats, from their grand coalition partner of the last 4 years. So Germans don't see him as a real alternative to Angela Merkel and her Christian Democrats. Another thing might be that he came in late into the game. He came from Brussels as an outsider in the beginning of the year. Germans have known Angela Merkel for the last 12 years, so she is a well-known figure and, of course, as polls say, more trustworthy than Martin Schulz as a candidate. So all these things might play a role in the low poll numbers for the Social Democrats and might play a role in a crushing, what might be a crushing election result on September 24th for the Social Democrats.
And Charlotte, we have to talk about the poll numbers for another party before we go, because the AfD, for example, they have really been gaining ground in the polls, and some people might even, expect them to even surprise those polls, potentially even garnering third place. Is it looking like this right-wing, controversial party is a viable alternative to the Social Democrats and Merkel's conservatives?
Well, if we believe the polls, then yes, 12% of the voters at the moment think it is a viable alternative to Social Democrats and Christian Democrats and the variety of other parties that are posing themselves in this election. The AfD indeed will make it into the parliament, as it looks like right now, could be the third strongest party, as you mentioned. With that, it would be the first far-right party to enter the German parliament ever since the Second World War. It is a single-issue party. It's all about anti-immigration on their platform, and I think that speaks to some of the voters that have been disappointed and frustrated with the refugee policies of the two main parties. So the AfD, the far-right AfD, could become a very vocal opposition and could really change up the German party system in this election on September 24th.
Charlotte Potts with the latest from the election trail. Thank you so much.